Carja, for the second year, due to COVID-19 restrictions, we are unable to gather together at the graves of our fallen patriots to mark the anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising. I am pleased, however, to welcome you to the County Monaghan online tribute to the men and women who give their lives to the cause of Irish freedom. At Easter, we recall the words of the Proclamation of the Irish Republic, the Republic we still pursue, and that we are closer than ever to bringing to reality. In this online event, we will hear a recitation of the Proclamation from members of Ógra Sinn Féin from across the county, led by the Cllr of Monaghan County Council, Councillor Colm Carthy. We will remember especially those from County Monaghan who are listed on the Republican Roll of Honour. Their names will be recalled by James McElwaine, the nephew of Seamus McElwaine, whose 35th anniversary falls this year. We remember Seamus and all those who fought and died for Ireland with pride. Over the past day or so, Republicans, in line with public health guidelines, have laid wreaths at the graveyards of those on the Roll of Honour and at Republican monuments throughout County Monaghan. We will show footage of these small ceremonies. We are especially proud to have a special tribute to the daughter of County Monaghan, Margaret Skinnider. Margaret, like James Connolly, was born in Scotland to Monaghan parents and participated in the 1916 Easter Rising. We are delighted that Shinn Roideain has recorded a song he wrote in honour of Margaret Skinnider, and we will use in this commemoration. Our Easter address will be delivered by local TD Matt Carthy, and this ceremony will conclude with a beautiful rendition of Amhrán na bhFiann by Patricia Cosgrave. We want to thank everyone who worked on this commemoration, particularly David Marron, who has produced this video. Please share this video with your friends and family, and remember with pride those who died for Ireland. Banachtaí na Casca Díobh Cllr.
Public na hÉireann, the provisional government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she received her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom.
Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself.
She now seizes that moment and, supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory.
We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible.
The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms.
Standing on that fundamental right and again asserting in the arms in the face of the world, we hereby declare the Irish Republic as a sovereign independent state.
And we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations.
The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman.
The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and the prosperity of the whole nations, and of all its party, cherishing all the children of the nation, equally and oblivious of all the differences carefully fostered by an alien government, which have divided a minority from the majority in the past.
Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of the permanent national government representative of the whole people of Ireland, and elected by the suffrages of all here men and women. The provisional government hereby constitute will administrate the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people.
We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves our cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity or rapine.
In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called.
Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonough, P.H. Pearce, Eamon Cant, James Conley, Joseph Plunkett.
She was born and raised in Lanarkshire, in Coleridge town that she loved dear, a daughter of two parents from County Monaghan, a child of emigration, a heroine to our nation. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. Her childhood years brought visits to her roots in County Monaghan. She saw firsthand the poverty that Irish folk endured. A free Ireland, the trade took root. So when war broke out, she learned to shoot. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. All my rain is Skinnider. Your legend goes before ya. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. All my rain is Skinnider. Your legend goes before ya. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. She fought bravely in her rising. She was shot 3 times, surprising to herself indeed that she survived the leaden rains fall. But she then escaped from hospital, so they couldn't keep her down at all. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. All my rain Skinnider. Your legend goes before you. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. All my rain Skinnider. Your legend goes before you. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. A teacher by profession, this late short-changed her on a pension, saying that as a woman, combat she never saw. Equal pay for women teachers was a victory that she helped secure. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. All my rain is Skinnider. Your legend goes before you. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. My rain is Skinnider. Your legend goes before you. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. Now in 1971, Margaret's race was finally run, but into lost obscurity, Margaret wouldn't fall. For in Cllr and Coleridge town, and where love of freedom still abounds, forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. All my rain is Skinnider. Your legend goes before ya. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider. My rain is Skinnider. Your legend goes before ya. Forever we'll remember you, Margaret Skinnider.
County Monaghan Rule of Honour. Volunteer James Conley, 1916. Volunteer Bernard Ward, 1917. Volunteer Patrick Duffy, 1918. Volunteer Bernard Marron, 1920. Volunteer Patrick McKenna, 1920. Volunteer Peter Riley, 1920. Volunteer Owen Keenan, 1920. Volunteer Michael Kelly, 1920. Volunteer Matt Fitzpatrick, 1921. Volunteer Sean Duffy, 1921. Volunteer Patrick McKenna, 1921. Volunteer Thomas McElwaine, 1921. Volunteer Michael McElwaine, 1921. Volunteer Connie Green, 1955. Volunteer Fergal O'Hanlon, 1957. Volunteer Al O'Hand, 1958. Volunteer John Francis Green, 1975. Volunteer Sean McKenna, 1975. Volunteer Kieran Doherty, 1981. Volunteer Peter Mohan, 1981. Volunteer Seamus McElwaine, 1986. Volunteer Jim Lina, 1987. Volunteer Pete Ryan, 1991. Volunteer Lawrence McNally, 1991.
Easter is a special time of year. It's a time for remembrance, for prayer, for reflection, and for regeneration. For Irish Republicans, it's a time for commemoration. Unfortunately, for the second year running, we're unable to gather as we usually do at monuments and grave signs, and instead are remembering our fallen patriots in our own homes or through online events like this. It was on Easter Monday in 1916 that Pádraig Pearse stood outside the GPO in Dublin and read aloud the Proclamation of the Irish Republic, an act which set in train a series of events that led to the downfall of the British Empire and inspired millions of freedom-loving people all over the world. The words of the proclamation continue to guide Irish Republicans to this day. We remember proudly all of those who have given their lives in the pursuit of Irish freedom. In County Monaghan, we remember those on the Republican Roll of Honour associated with our own great county. People like James Connolly, a son of Monaghan parents. Born in Glasgow, he returned to Ireland and founded the Irish Citizen Army and became a leader in the Easter Rising. His writings continued to guide socialists and Republicans the world over. People like Fergal O'Hanlon, a young man from Monaghan town who saw the failures and injustice that the partition of our country had created and committed himself to undoing it. He was killed on active service on New Year's Day in 1957. On this 40th anniversary year of the 1981 hunger strike, we in Monaghan remember the 10 brave men that lost their lives in Long Kesh in order to defeat the attempts of the British government to criminalise the Irish freedom struggle. In County Monaghan, we recall very especially Kieran Doherty, a Belfast man who never set foot in Cavan Monaghan, but who nevertheless was elected as a TD for this constituency before he died in hunger strike. His election remains a source of real pride to Republicans in these counties. This year also marks the 35th anniversary of the death of volunteer Seamus McElwaine, a true County Monaghan hero. Seamus was assassinated by the British SAS while on active service. Like James Connolly, Fergal O'Hanlon and Kieran Doherty, Seamus McElwaine was an Irish patriot who faced down colonial oppression without fear. This Easter, we remember proudly all of those across all generations who fought and died for the Irish Republic. In this generation, we are in a fortunate position compared to those who came before us. We do not have to lay down our lives on the line in the pursuit of Irish freedom and unity. We just have to work for it. Ireland is a great country and the Irish people are a great people, but we have yet to realise our full potential. We cannot do this until we can house and shelter all of our people, until we can provide healthcare to everyone, regardless of how much money is in their bank accounts or in which part of the country they live in. We cannot do it until the burden of paying for public services is shared by the wealthy as well as ordinary workers and families. We cannot possibly reach our full potential until our country is reunited and we can build the republic that was proclaimed in 1916. There is much work to do. We have yet to persuade everyone, but the arguments in favour of a better, a fairer and a united Ireland are strengthening by the day. This can be seen in the growing support for Sinn Féin. We will get through this current difficult period just as the Irish people have persevered through even tougher times in the past. And when we do, the movement towards an Ireland that is united, free and in which equality and prosperity becomes the catch cry of every political decision that is made must continue. We can build a republic that cherishes all of our children, that puts the interests of workers and families ahead of the profits of the vultures and the bankers and the speculators. Be part of that endeavour. Celebrate those who fought and died for our freedom yesterday by working for it today. Happy Easter. Berigi Bua.
Shinn Féin fall atá faoi legerin buin dar srú dar ding orang e gwyn faoi mid versir Shan cheer shinger fasta ni far win cheer on win troll anog the hymns of our love with leganer gil con bosh no seal legona shriek win love na be lair shall live connie